silence, of waking up to cold sheets and a quiet apartment that no longer smelled like her perfume. I thought maybe this was the peace I needed, the calm after the storm. But peace doesn't always come with silence. Sometimes silence screams louder than any voice ever could. I threw myself into work. My company, Parker Systems, was finally gaining traction. Investors were calling, deals were closing, and the world was starting to recognize my name. I should have been proud, but every success felt hollow, like I was building skyscrapers over a graveyard. It was a Friday evening when the doorbell rang. I opened it, and there she was, Sophia. Same brown eyes, same perfect smile, but something was different. She looked tired. Her face had that kind of sadness people wear when they've made too many wrong turns and can't find their way back. "Hey," she said softly, holding a small bag. "Can I come in?" For a few seconds, I just stared at her. 100 things ran through my head. The lies, the laughter, the betrayal. But my mouth betrayed me before my brain could. "Yeah, come in." She walked past me like she still lived here. The smell of her perfume, the same one she used to wear for him, filled the room again. For a moment, it was like nothing had changed, except everything had. She sat on the couch, her hands trembling slightly. I leaned against the kitchen counter, arms crossed. "What do you want, Sophia?" Her eyes flickered up at me. "I needed to talk to you. Please, just listen." I didn't say anything. She took a deep breath. "Daniel's gone. He left. Took my money, my car, everything." I almost laughed, but I didn't. My jaw tightened instead. "So, he used you." She nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. "I know I deserve it. I destroyed us, Ryan. I ruined everything we had, but I didn't know where else to go." For a long time, neither of us spoke. The clock ticked, the city buzzed outside, and the distance between us felt like miles instead of feet. Finally, I said, "You could have gone anywhere, Sophia. You chose to come back here. Why?" Her eyes searched mine desperately. "Because even after everything, you're the only person who ever truly cared about me." It should have made me angry. It should have made me throw her out. But it didn't. It just made me tired. The kind of tired that seeps into your bones. "You can stay here tonight," I said quietly. "But that's it." She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. "Thank you, Ryan. I promise I'll leave tomorrow." I turned away before she could see the crack in my own armor. That night, I slept in the office room. I heard her crying in the living room, soft, broken sobs that reminded me of the girl I once fell in love with, the girl who used to hold me when I failed, who laughed at my stupid jokes, who dreamed with me before everything went wrong. But the woman crying in the next room wasn't that girl anymore. Morning came. I found her in the kitchen making coffee like she used to. She looked up when she saw me. "I made yours too," she said quietly. I took the cup, said nothing. We sat in silence until she finally broke it. "I want to make things right, Ryan." I almost smiled. "You can't fix something that's already ash." "I know, but can't we at least try?" The way she said "we" felt heavy. There was guilt, but also something else, desperation. I leaned back, studying her face. "Try what, Sophia? Pretend like nothing happened? Like you didn't destroy everything we built?" Her eyes glistened. I need time. I need you." And that's when I realized something. She wasn't back for love. She was back because she had nowhere else to go. I could see it in her eyes. It wasn't about regret. It was about survival. So I gave her what she wanted. A roof, a second chance, but not the kind she thought. Over the next few weeks, we fell into an uneasy rhythm. She stayed in the guest room. I went to work. We exchanged polite small talk like two strangers forced to share the same space. Sometimes she'd cook dinner, sometimes she'd ask about my projects, sometimes she'd just stare out the window for hours. But I noticed things, little things. She'd pick up her phone and lock it quickly when I walk by. She'd go out in the evenings and come home late, saying she was meeting old friends. I didn't need to guess. I'd seen this movie before. So I decided to write the ending myself. I started documenting everything. The calls, the photos, the receipts. I wasn't planning revenge. Not yet. I was planning clarity. I needed to see her for who she truly was. No illusions, no nostalgia. Then one night I found the truth. I had left my laptop open when she walked into my office. She didn't know I was behind her. She picked it up, typed something quickly, and inserted a flash drive. I watched quietly from the doorway. When I spoke, she jumped. "What are you doing?" She froze, caught red-handed. "I was checking something for you." "On a flash drive?" Her silence was louder than any confession she could make. I walked toward her and she stepped back. "Sophia," I said softly, "what's on that drive?" She shook her head. "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" She didn't answer. I reached for the drive, but she pulled it away, clutching it to her chest. "Please, Ryan, just trust me." That word, trust, cut deeper than anything else she could have said. "I trusted you once. You remember what that got me?" Her eyes filled with tears. "You don't understand. I had to..." "Had to what?" I snapped for the first time, raising my voice. "Had to betray me again?" She backed up against the wall, crying. "Daniel came back. He threatened me. Said if I didn't get him the designs from your company, he'd ruin you." I froze. My company. The algorithms I had spent years building, the same tech that made Parker Systems valuable. "So you were going to steal from me?" Her tears streamed down her face. "No, I wasn't going to give it to him. I just wanted to copy it, to make him believe I was helping him. I swear, Ryan, I was trying to protect you." I stared at her, searching for a hint of truth. Maybe she was lying. Maybe she wasn't. But at that point, it didn't matter. Something in me broke for good. "You need to leave," I said quietly. "Ryan, please." "Now." She fell to her knees, sobbing, clutching the flash drive like it was her last lifeline. "I love you, Ryan. I always did. I just didn't know how to stop destroying everything." I didn't reply. I walked past her, opened the door, and waited. After a long silence, she stood up, wiped her tears, and left, this time for real. When the door clicked shut, I felt the air change. The apartment felt lighter, colder, quieter, but for the first time in months, it felt mine again. I looked at the flash drive still lying on the floor where she dropped it. I picked it up, turned it in my hand, and whispered to myself, "Goodbye, Sophia." That night, I deleted every photo, every message, every trace of her. But love doesn't delete that easily.
They say time heals everything, but what they never tell you is that time doesn't erase pain, it just teaches you how to live with it. It had been 3 months since Sophia left for good. 3 months since I watched her walk away for the last time. The apartment was quieter, cleaner, colder. No more perfume lingering in the air, no half-empty coffee cups, no tears on the pillow beside mine. It was just me. And honestly, that was enough. I buried myself in work. My company, Parker Systems, had exploded in growth. The flash drive Sophia tried to take, it contained the prototype for Atlas, my AI project, the one investors called the future of modern security systems. Funny how betrayal can sometimes fuel your best work. Every night I stayed late at the office. Code, meetings, planning. But no matter how much success surrounded me, there was still a quiet ache somewhere inside. Not for Sophia, but for the man I used to be before her lies hardened me. People began to notice the change. "Ryan, you're different," my assistant Leah said one day. "You're sharper, colder." I smiled faintly. Maybe that's what success requires. But the truth was simpler. I had learned to stop expecting loyalty from anyone who said, "I love you." One evening, I was working late when Leah knocked on the glass wall of my office. "Ryan, there's someone here to see you." I frowned. It was almost 10 p.m. "Who is it?" She hesitated. "She says her name is Sophia." My stomach tightened, like a fist had formed inside it. For a second, I thought I misheard her. "Send her in," I said finally. Sophia walked in, dressed in black, her hair shorter now, her eyes tired but steady. She looked different. Not broken, not manipulative, just empty. "Hi," she said softly. I leaned back in my chair, crossing my arms. "What do you want?" She swallowed hard. "I needed to apologize, properly this time." I chuckled under my breath. "You drove here at 10 p.m. to apologize?" She nodded. "Yes, because you deserve that." I stared at her for a long moment. I couldn't decide what I felt. Anger, curiosity, maybe a bit of sadness. "All right," I said finally. "You've got 2 minutes." Her voice trembled as she spoke. "I know nothing I say will change what I did. I lied, I cheated, and I hurt the only man who ever cared about me. Daniel's gone. He's under investigation for fraud now. Everything fell apart. But I'm not here to make you feel sorry for me. I'm here because I need you to know I see it now. I see what I lost." I didn't respond. I just let her words hang there. She took a shaky breath. "I always said one day you'd regret it. You were right. Every single night, I regret it." Her eyes glistened. I wanted to say thank you for loving me when I didn't even love myself." Something about that line hit me. Not because I believed her, but because I understood it. She wasn't asking for forgiveness. She was trying to forgive herself. "Goodbye, Sophia," I said quietly. She nodded, tears spilling down her cheeks. "Goodbye, Ryan." She turned to leave, but before she stepped out, she said something that stuck with me for weeks. "I hope the next woman you love realizes what she has before she loses it." And then she was gone. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat by the window, staring at the city lights. For the first time, I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel sadness. I just felt free. A few months later, life looked completely different. Atlas officially launched. Media outlets called me the next big name in tech. Investors flooded in. My name was everywhere. That's when Emma Watson came into my life. She was a financial consultant, hired to oversee my company's next expansion phase. Smart, grounded, confident. The first time we met, she extended her hand and said, "Mr. Parker, I've read everything about your work. It's impressive." I smiled. "Then you already know too much about me." She laughed, and for the first time in a long time, I actually laughed too. Working with Emma was easy. She didn't flirt, didn't play games. She challenged me, questioned me, and somehow understood me without me having to say much. We spent long hours together, in meetings, at dinners, at conferences. I tried not to let my heart get involved, but hearts don't care about logic. One evening, as we were walking out of a corporate event, she looked at me and said, "You know, Ryan, you talk like a man who's been hurt deeply but refuses to admit it." I smiled faintly. Maybe I just learned to stop expecting happy endings. She looked at me for a moment and said softly, "Maybe you just haven't met the right co-author." Something in that line broke through the last wall I had left. From then on, things began to shift. She wasn't Sophia. She didn't need fixing. She didn't need validation. She was just there, solid, real. I didn't realize how much I missed that. Stability. Weeks passed. We grew closer. It wasn't passionate like my relationship with Sophia. It was peaceful. And peace, I learned, is stronger than passion. But the past always finds a way back. One morning, as I was heading into a meeting, Leah rushed into my office. "Ryan, you need to see this." She handed me her tablet. A news headline flashed across the screen. Ex-CEO Daniel Reed arrested in corporate espionage case. Involves stolen Parker Systems data. I froze. Beneath the article was a photo. Daniel and Sophia.